So let's talk about what he actually said to the man, because he wasn't happy. He wasn't happy. So Jesus said to him, where were we? We stopped at verse 18. And he said to him, the man says to Jesus, which ones? So right away, when Jesus said to him, you need to keep the commandment, he was puffed up. He feel like, man, he knew them all because he was rich and he knew what to do. So he said, oh, man, I thought I got this thing down pat. So he responded and he said, which one? This is the meat of this conversation today. And Jesus said, you shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness. Honor your father and mother. And you shall love your neighbor as yourself. That is 6 commands gave that says if you want to experience eternal life, right? If you want life that is beyond the now life. He said, these are the commandments that guarantee you eternal life. But watch something that happened. He said to him, which ones? And Jesus, go back to verse 20. And the young man said to him, all these. In other words, he said, I have kept all of these commandments. All these. What do I still lack? Because the only person that can ask that question is someone that is still unhappy. Yeah. So he is saying, I've kept those things, but Jesus, I'm still unhappy.
Can I add here?
Right
I
ahead.
believe
Yes.
I'm just gonna jump to verse 30 in that chapter 19. I think it's verse.
You're going to jump
topic.
to verse 30?
No, I'm just touching it really quick, just to make a point. But many who are first will be last, and the last first. What he truly have to say with this, God's principles or heavenly principles, they are completely opposite of earthly principles.
Yes.
So he thought, because I'm building and I keep on building, eventually I'm going to get up there.
Right,
but when
right.
Jesus says, come up high and get eternal life, it's truly, he's saying it's opposite. Imagine what the opposite of gaining is.
Right. Wow.
Have it all. Have the power, because he was a ruler. Have the knowledge, because he knew all the commandments.
Yes.
Have the riches.
Right.
He had it all.
Right.
But yet, he had to lose it all. But our heart is, because we build it ourselves, it's so tangled, and if we hold everything so dear, it's so hard to let go when the Lord tells you to do something, because it's going to be completely the opposite.
Which, absolutely, because we are so attached to it that we go for 1 second. But going back to verse 20, the young man said to him, all these I have kept. In other words, he said, I'm good on commandments. Jesus, I've done it. So he's saying, and this is very important. He said, so what do I lack? That tells us right away, immediately. He's saying, Jesus, I'm still unhappy. Something is not adding up here. What am I lacking? Tell me what I need to do so I can really feel the joy and feel the happiness. Going right back to our topic this evening. Ways to live a happier life doesn't cost a penny. Ways to live a happier life, and it does not cost a penny. He had all the money in the world, but he was still not as happy. So let's look at this next verse. If you would be perfect, because in other words, Jesus said to him in verse 21, if you would be perfect, go. Sell what you possess and give to the poor. Have treasures, and you will have treasures in heaven. So Jesus says, this is what you're lacking. It's not that he was lacking a commandment. He was lacking ever willing to let go. So that's what you were saying earlier. We hold on to things so tight that we at no point want to release. And those are the things, man, this is powerful. That is the thing that keeps us from getting or having eternal life. Last week or a few weeks ago, I gave the story about the person that says, put all the money in my casket if I die, whenever I die. And his wife writes a check and put it on his chest when he dies. But we feel as if we have to take everything with us. We got to take everything with us.